hello. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. April the 2nd. And today, we're gonna talk about Arsenal. Obviously, yesterday, Arsenal beat Fulham 2-1. Bukayo Saka is back. He scores and everything. Seems like something is going our way, but then feels like April Fool's joke played a very cruel joke on us at the end of the day. Gabriel looks like he has a hamstring. Timber under the question mark. Ben White wasn't with the team. Calafiori is injured. And to some extent, with only 1 week left till Champions League against Real Madrid on the weekend as well. Saturday, early kickoff at Everton. It's at Liverpool. We're gonna play Everton, sorry. Looks like it's gonna be hell on earth. And to some extent, Arsenal are in an injury crisis in that regard. That is kinda annoying, and it's really pissing me off, to say the least. Of course, as I said, Saka is back, which is quite fantastic. And for a change, yesterday, Martinelli was quite amazing to watch. He was phenomenal, to say the least, to be honest. He won man of the match, and let's be real, fully and utterly deserved, in my opinion. He did skills, he was attacking, he was direct, he was fast, he was cooking Castagne left, right and center, and for a change he actually felt like he's Brazilian, not from, I don't know, San Salvador or from Bolivia or something like that. So that was a nice change. If he can keep this up and play like that against Real Madrid, I would be over the moon, of course. But yeah, the biggest news, of course, it was a blessing that Bukayo Saka, you could say, is back, although he was still limping a bit, so I would say he's not still 100%, but hey, at the same time, yeah, Gabriel is out, Timber, precautionary, could be, but it also is not looking too good based on what Mikel Arteta said in an interview after the game, and it kind of felt like the game we played against Brentford when Timber just signed. First half he goes down, he continues to play, in second half, bang, it's an ACL. So it's quite worrisome. Obviously, Calafiori is out, as I said. And it looks like we will have Kivior at center back when we play against Real Madrid. And that already is worrying thing on its own, because Kivior gets Mbappe, oh my goodness gracious. I just put it that way. But of course, today we're going to talk about the game, we're going to talk about the injuries, all that good stuff. So, smash the like button, lick it, caress it, hammer it, however you do it, just do it, please. It takes a second, costs nothing, helps the algorithm quite a lot. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and of course, if you have thoughts you want to discuss, leave them down in the live chat. So, first things first, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Big up Mike, good evening, hope you're doing well. Yeah, yesterday's game was nothing exciting, I'm not gonna lie, to watch at the end of the day, but we got the job done. Bukayo Saka scores the goal, arguably the dream comeback, you could say. Only way it could have gone better, it was if it was 1-1 and Bukayo Saka scored in the final minutes the winning goal. That would be the only way it could have gone better at the same time. And as good and as nice it was that we won, that Saka scored, that Saka played and everything, of course, everything is doom and gloom in terms of injuries. And that will be one of the biggest talking points for today. And what we're going to kick things off, obviously, lineups. And of course, we're going to talk about the player ratings. Then we're going to go into interview. And then we're going to talk about some transfers. And of course, we're going to discuss the injury issues. So, first things first. As I said, the game was nothing exciting. Let's just say it as it is. Let's say pound per pound. Arsenal was controlling possession, not allowing Fulham to do much. They had some chances, they didn't take them. Arsenal didn't have too many chances, but they managed to take them. 19 shots, only 4 on target, 2 goals. You could say 4 shots on target, 2 goals, 50% ratio. Actually not that bad. Plus Timber had a chance to score from Odegaard's pass, and he just shot it straight at Leno. So that was one of those shots on target, but ultimately, only thing that mattered in a way that Arsenal got on winning is still in winning routes, because at the moment Liverpool are playing against Everton, and it's quite interesting because Arsenal play Fulham today, Everton on the weekend, Liverpool playing Everton today, and Fulham on the weekend. And if we win both of the games, Liverpool by some miracle way lose both of them, it's only 6 points, and again, it's gonna be very low in terms of title race in a way, especially since we still have to go to Anfield and all that stuff. So not getting ahead of myself, I still think Arsenal are not going to do it, but we'll see. We genuinely will see. Now, player ratings. Here we go. We're going to kick things off with David Raya. And I must say, he was kind of a bit of an unfortunate in that regard because the shot Muniz took got a deflection from Saliba and it went into goal. 2-1, couldn't do much, did some good things, some stuff. I would give David Raya a solid 7. Nothing much he didn't have to do much. One chance he made a good save, one chance they missed, and the chance he conceded was unlucky. Let's just put it that way. So David Raya for me gets a 7. Moving things on to Yuri and Timba, who got subbed off injured, and Thomas Partey went into right back role, which already for me was PTSD scary hours because although he wasn't too bad at right back even during the season, last season he got injured because of that, and I don't want to see him at right back, of course, during the game against Real Madrid, because imagine Partey versus Vinicius. That already kind of doesn't sit well with me, let's just put it that way. However, we are quite short now in that department, because when the season began, I was saying this all the time. Attack department is what it is. Midfield, we are looking better in the attack, but again, it's not perfect. But the defense looked the most solid, because we had players that basically are very solid, that could play and cover each other. Obviously, the lack of coverage for Saliba and Gabriel were the biggest issues. We had about 6 left backs, and it wasn't looking as bad as you would think. But now, end part of the season, and we have nothing. You could say we have nothing. Timber went off injured. Now, is it precaution? Is it real? How long he could be out for potentially? Nobody knows at the moment. Let's just put it that way. For me, Timber gets an 8 for yesterday's performance until he got subbed off injured. But he gets for me an 8. But he could have scored, obviously, as I said. But the biggest issue is we are very short at the right back position. Because Timber was ill during the international break. So he also wasn't in the best of forms as well. So that also was the big worry for me, what would happen during the game. And unfortunately, in a way, also inevitable happened to some extent. Because Timber has just come back from ACL injury. It's not a secret, everyone knows that. And for the fact that he has just come back from ACL injury at the beginning of the season, right? He had played way too much games. Way too much time with no replacements. Obviously, Ben White played some time injured as well. Ben White is out as well now. How long, nobody knows, because he missed yesterday's game. There are speculation that because he's having a baby in his family. At the same time, Mikel Arteta said it's due to illness. Because if you're having a baby, let's be real, manager is not going to say it's because of an illness. The issue with that is Mikel Arteta, as Zinchenko has pointed out in his book and everything, although I haven't read the book, that's what he said in an interview, is the fact that Mikel Arteta tends to deceive people in that way. He has even made injured players walk out from the bus with their equipment and all that stuff. You know the usual stuff, just to throw opponents off. So we'll see how that goes, how that develops. But ultimately, it's not looking too good, because we are currently on a very thin ice regarding Champions League. As much as I don't think we're gonna get past Madrid, I wanted to have a proper fighting chance, and having Timber and Gabriel injured specifically now, White being out, Calafiori being out, as much as I don't like Calafiori as a left back, I think he's more of a center back, and we would love to have him at the moment, let's be real, at center back to replace Gabriel. It's a big worry. It's a big, massive worry right now, because we are on the edge of having Thomas Partey as a right back again. That is a big issue for me. That is a big issue for me. Anyways, moving on to the left side to Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm going to give Skelly also an 8. He was fantastic. He was driving. He was attacking. He's very good against teams where we have most of the possession. He can drive and be himself. He dribbled through defenders. He got fouled. On occasion, you could say he got caught out, but he's young. He's 18. Left back isn't even his position. He's number 8, number 6. And obviously, within inverting, he actually plays there. So that's why he looks very well there. Plus, since he's a midfielder, he looks very good for the left back spot, because he has the technical ability. He has the ability to control the ball, pass the ball, and everything. At the moment, yeah, but I kind of get it. Big up, Nathan. Skelly was at fault for the goal. You could say that. At the same time, I would put it also on Kivior, who came on for Gabriel, who we're going to get into in a second. Because the way Kivior also defended, he could have closed down Adama quicker. let's just put it that way. He could, was it Adama? I think it was Adama. He could have closed him down quicker because he went straight into the box and then only started closing him down. Obviously, if he would have closed him down instantly, right, there was a chance that he would get outpaced and gotten by. So it is what it is. We conceded, but Skelly for me gets an 8. Overall, he had a very good performance. Together with Martinelli, they actually had a very decent partnership today. Might be also due to the fact that Martinelli was quite fantastic yesterday, of course, but Skelly was actually very, very, very decent. Now, we get to center backs. Yeah, kinda, but yeah, he got lobbed as well. Kivior, Gabriel. Let's go to the center backs. Let's just say that. Gabriel. 12 minutes in, and he gets injured. Nobody's around him. He's sprinting back, covering Adama, and he pulls a hamstring. He falls to the ground. We have the ball. Declan Rice is saying for us to kick out the ball, obviously. And he doesn't. We continue attack. Gabriel is barely standing on his feet. He cannot walk. He cannot run. He falls to the ground and all this stuff. And we lose the possession. And then Declan Rice starts to shout to Fulham players, kick out the ball. And to be honest, I'm not blaming Fulham players for not doing that, because let's be real. No team is going to do that against us, and no team is going to do that for us. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But I cannot give actually Gabriel a proper rating solely due to the fact he played only 12 minutes. Let's be real. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, trying to Traore, we'll do that, trying to catch Traore, but he didn't have these issues throughout the whole season. And again, I kind of feel that it kind of could be coinciding with the fact that he's being overplayed. I get that center backs also need to be rotated, because Liverpool does that, most of the teams does that, and unfortunately we don't have covers for those spots. Kivior doesn't play a lot. It's pretty much evident that Mikel Arteta doesn't trust him. Only when basically shit hits the fan like it did yesterday. Calafiori plays predominantly left back, even though he's a center back, let's be real. So we have this big issue. But, yeah, Gabriel is Gabriel. How long he's going to be out for, I have no idea. At the moment, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen reports. No injury reports specifically for how long he could be out for. There are speculations. It could be a month could be 2. Could be even 3-4. He could be back for the next season only. There are lots of speculations flying around, but based on how everything ended, it's pretty much evident he's not going to play against Real Madrid. And that is a big, 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 massive worry. Yeah, not a head injury. What? To who? Yeah. He's injured, and that is a big thing. Kivior versus Kylian Mbappe. Who is ready to see that? Kivior versus Mbappe. Holy crap. Let's just put it that way. But it is what it is. Anyways, Kivior came on, obviously, for Gabriel. Did somewhat solid. I'm going to give Kivior an 8 for yesterday's performance. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give Kivior an 8. Somewhat solid. Did the things. The issue with Kivior at center back, though, is that you can see that Saliba lost confidence a bit. Like, if you kind of look from the moment that Kivior came on, if you look how Saliba played, and obviously we all know how Saliba plays together with Gabriel, they're a very established center-back pairing, right? You could see that he was more nervous, and it makes a lot of sense, I'm not gonna lie. And it is a nice segue when we talk about Saliba specifically, is that Gabriel and Saliba are a ideal pairing because they make each other better. One does the dirty work, one doesn't mind getting his hands dirty, one does the roughening everyone up, which is Gabriel. He can deal with Haaland, he can deal with Jimenez, with Gyökeres, with everyone, right? He does it. Saliba can do that as well, but in my opinion, not to the same extent. And you could see that if you kind of follow the game and you watch what Jimenez was doing, he was roughing Saliba up a bit. And that's why I think they are the perfect partnership. Because one is more smooth, good, better on the ball, better at dribbling the ball, better at passing the ball, aka Saliba, obviously. More pleasant to the regular eye, if you are a fan, simple fan. But if you watch football from a bit deeper point of view, you can see how they complement each other so perfectly that as soon as one goes out, and if you don't have a proper replacement, you see a massive drop-off. Let's just put it that way, right? And with Saliba, that is the case. And now it's gonna be pretty much solely on Saliba, kinda, to carry our center back pairing, because Saliba will, his duties now at center back to the pretty much till the end of the season to some extent, and it doesn't matter if it's Premier League or Champions League, how long we are there, is gonna fall on him. And that is the thing where we're gonna see what Saliba is made of. And the better he performs, the bigger chance Real Madrid actually might get him. If he, as a standalone center back, without Gabriel by his side, performs phenomenally against Madrid, it will give even them more incentive to try and buy him. Because, let's be real, I'm gonna say it how I see it. For the last year and a half, Gabriel has been the best of the two. And Saliba hasn't been bad, but you could see that especially in the last about half a year, 8 months, his performances have dropped a bit. Let's just put it that way. Because knowing the standard we hold up to him, how he has performed, he's playing to some extent below it. Let's just put it that way. And Gabriel is saving our bacon many times. Let's just say that. And it will be on Saliba. I'm giving Saliba 8 as well. Solid, everything. Picked up the slack, especially when Gabriel came off, so it is what it is. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all these things a bit later on. Now, moving on to Thomas Partey. Played as a 6, then played as a right back as soon as Timber came off. And I would say I'm gonna give Partey an 8 as well. He was fantastic in the first half. In the second half is a bit different, especially when Timber got injured. Yeah, exactly. Partey was fantastic in the first half. In the second half, as soon as Timber came off, he went to the right back spot. You could see that our midfield was missing something. It got run through a bit more and everything. So it is a bit of a worry. It is a bit of a worry. So I'm going to give Partey an 8. I'm going to give Partey an 8. Nathan is giving Partey a 9. I cannot give Partey a 9 because, although I can technically, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give him an 8. Someone else deserves a 9 in this team. Big up Mob. Big up Mob. How you doing? Prime Partey is back. Would be nice if he could do that against Real Madrid. Against Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, Guler, Endrick. Dude, we can name all these ballers left and right. Declan Rice. How to say this? Declan Rice. Cannot even say Declan Couscous because it wasn't couscous. Let's just put it that way. When you go to the shop, right? Whatever is closer to you, I don't know where you shop, right? There are 2 types of rice you can buy. You can buy basically rice in a pack, right? Like 100 grams, whatever. You can boil it and it doesn't need attention. You just in the boiling water, add some salt, stuff, and it's cooking itself. However, you can also make rice as basically you can pour it out, certain amount, then you can cook it, but you all the time have to stir it so it doesn't get burnt and everything. And Declan Rice's performance yesterday was like performance if you had overcooked the rice. It was mushy, it was a bit burnt, and it just wasn't nice, basically, for the taste. It wasn't the best. Let's just put it that way. You can eat it, basically, obviously, but it wasn't what you basically hope when you started cooking yourself dinner. Let's just put it that way. So for me, Declan Rice gets, I cannot decide, 6, 7. I'm gonna give him, since it's 6 and 7, I'm gonna 6.5. I'm gonna give Declan Rice 6.5. Yeah, Nathan also is giving Rice 6.5. I'm gonna give Declan Rice 6.5. And this is also very, very bad for us because arguably the drop-off for Declan Rice last season started game or 2 before we had to play Bayern Munich in Champions League. This season as well, we have to play Real Madrid in Champions League in quarterfinals, right? And his performances have dipped again. And you could say that the biggest drop-off started for Declan Rice in those Champions League games. I genuinely hope that he doesn't play the same level as he did against Bayern Munich. He needs to step it up big time. That was Timber. If you think about the opportunity on the right, where Odegaard put the ball through and Timber was running just before he got injured, that was Timber. I'm running through my head with of the game. Declan Rice. We had 4 shots on target. 2 went in. 1 was Timba, and there was another one. I don't remember if it was Rice or not. We didn't have many shots on target, so it's not that too much to pick out of. Let's be real. No, Rice was better than Odegaard. There's no argument about that. We're gonna get to that. I remember to Rice from the left side. Could have been. Could have been. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Could have been. But yeah, Declan Rice gets a 6.5. Now we get to our captain. El Capitan. Skipper. Snodgaard. Gibraltar Guard. Solar Guard. Hairflick Guard. Armwave Guard. Messed up ankle guard. Pillowfoot. And all these guys. If you know, you know. What a fucking shit performance. Again. And that is the biggest issue. So many. He shot about 3-4 shots. Every one ended in the rose head. Maybe even hit it outside the Emirates. Maybe killed even a pigeon that was flying over Emirates. And everything. And that was nuts. Again, overholding the possession. Overplaying the ball. One good pass he made was for the chance that Timber had. That was the best pass I have seen him do in the last, I think, arguably since he even has come back from the injury. To some extent. That was the best pass I have seen between 2 defenders as the Timber is overlapping over the left back and he actually got a chance and shot it straight at Leno. I could argue that. But that was utterly insane. I've seen top gooners argue that he is bad because, well, his ankle is messed up. He doesn't have any more shot power. He can't shoot the ball straight anymore and everything. But the one thing was, he got maybe 1% better, as Mabas is saying, he missed his mate Saka. He got maybe 1% better when Saka came on. I'm just going to put it that way. However, even with Saka back, you could see that we predominantly aimed it to Saka, right? And everything. But when I was watching the game, how Arsenal played, how Odegaard specifically played. 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 passes, pass backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pass backwards. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, pass backwards. And predominantly that was because of Odegaard as well. And yeah, Odegaard for me gets a... I'm gonna give Odegaard a 4. Nathan gives Odegaard a 4, yeah. I don't know what he does. I genuinely don't know what he does. I can tell you that for me, Odegaard is not captain material. Right? First things first. I'm gonna say it as it is. He is not captain material. Right? And second of all, as much as top gooners want to claim it's because of his ankle, it's because of Saka not being there, proof is in the pudding right there. Saka can't carry this team without Odegaard. Odegaard can't do anything without Saka. Everyone's saying you will see the best of Odegaard once Saka is back. If Odegaard is one of your highest paid players at the club, he is your captain, why the hell he should be relying on Bukayo Saka to come back? Why the hell he should be doing that? He's not it. He is not it. It's generally time maybe for an experiment like Mabas is saying. Try 1 year in the 10, push down Odegaard to an 8, put Declan Rice in the 6 or whatever, especially if we don't have right backs, right? For Real Madrid game or even for Everton game. Could be an opportunity to test out, as much as I hate to say this, Partey as a right back, Odegaard as an 8, Vanjeri in a 10, and see what happens. Because from that 10 spot, one of the biggest things we are missing is the directness. Movement forward, ball carrying, attacking defenders and everything, which Vanjeri actually loves to do. Odegaard just runs away from it. Let's just put it that way. And to some extent, even imagine what precedent does that send to youngsters that get promoted when they see the captain of Arsenal, third biggest team in England, right, play like this. Oh, but he's very essential how we play. If he's very essential how we play, holy crap, I don't want to watch Arsenal ever again. Like, come on, man. That is utterly, utterly disgraceful. I'm just gonna say it as it is. Anyways, moving on. Our attack. Attack! Ethan Vanieri. Ethan Vanieri. Ethan Vanieri. Yeah, Vanieri looked good, so good when he drifted Cyril on and to the left, which Odegaard almost never does, by the way. Odegaard never drifts all across the attack. He just drifts right to basically hug Bukayo Saka. That's what he does whole game. Or drops into 8 or 6 spot to get the ball, which is even more indication that we should at least test him out in an 8. Although, I'm gonna contradict myself here. I don't see Odegaard as a 10 or not even as an 8. Right? But hey, we need to test these things out. If not now, then when? Because if the league is done, Arteta can experiment. Top 4 is more or less guaranteed, right? So why are we not experimenting with some of these things? That is the big question for me. So yeah, Vanieri for me gets an 8. I'm not gonna lie. Although I'm gonna say this, one thing that pissed me off about Mikel Arteta yesterday, when he made this substitution, when he took Vanieri off, I wish he took Odegaard off. I wish he took Odegaard off in that regard, because Trossard came off. I wish he took Odegaard off. Take Odegaard off. Sorry, I'm still ill. It really pisses me off. Take Odegaard off, put Saka on the right, and Vanieri in the 10. That is the one thing I really didn't like yesterday. I wish he took Odegaard off. But hey, it is what it is. Anyhow, moving on to the left. Gabriel Martinelli. Yesterday, actually, was Joga Bonito. He actually was Brazilian yesterday. That's what we want to see from Martinelli every game. Attack, movement, sprint, cooking, Castagne, left, right, and center. He even did a flip-flap there when he nutmegged the Castagne. Actually fantastic Brazilian-style flick for Saka to score the second goal and the winning goal for the game. Fantastic. That was phenomenal. The way that burst of pace he had in the midfield. Then passed it wide to Merino. Merino crosses, the flick on, everything. He was cooking yesterday. I don't know if Andrea Berta has come in and said to Martinelli that unless you step up, we are sending you back to Bolivia, San Salvador, or Cuba, Aruba, wherever, right? Or what? But yesterday, that has been arguably one of the best Martinelli performances I have seen him play at Arsenal since 22-23 season. 2 years. Yesterday. That was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing for me. And yeah, Martinelli for me, exactly, is man of the match. Man of the match. I'm giving Martinelli a 9. If he scored as well, I would have given him a 10. Especially based on how his season has gone. So yeah, it is what it is. Nobody voted for Nelly but me. Nelly hates is forced. Yeah, just. What do you mean nobody voted for Martinelli? Martinelli was man of the match. He won man of the match. Arsenal tweeted at them out themselves. I'm giving Martinelli man of the match. Don't chat if you don't know. Exactly. So it was quite fantastic. It was fantastic. What do you mean it updated? See? Martinelli, man of the match. What do you mean? He is man of the match. He was my man of the match, and he's also Arsenal tweeted that out. Obviously, he wasn't man of the match based on on Sky Sports or some crap like that. Sky Sports, I think, gave it to Merino. I think. Which obviously, actually kind of get it. But obviously, they don't look from our point of view how he has played. Obviously. So, before. So, it is what it is. That's the biggest question. I think he's going to be out for 2 months. Something like that. See? Check it. Check the stats. Check the facts. Anyways, Martinelli, man of the match for me. 9. If he can keep this up and play like this against Real Madrid, whether it's Vasquez or Valverde, although I've heard Valverde is injured, so I think it's still a question mark whether he's gonna play or not. We have to wait and see. Maybe he'll play on injections or something. But if it's Vasquez, there's no excuse for Martinelli not to cook him, because Vasquez is shit. He is genuinely shit. Every single Real Madrid fan I know, I've seen on social media, seen on streams, seen on videos, doesn't like Vasquez, they want him out. And everything. Anyways, moving on to Merino. Oh, Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino. Merino is doing great at striker, looks like he finally understands. That's the biggest thing. If you actually look how Merino plays as a striker, right? It makes Kai Havertz signing in general and putting him at striker look even worse. Because Kai Havertz is an attacker. Whether you like it or not, he's a 10, he's a between 9 and a 10, secondary striker, winger, however you want to look at it. At Leverkusen, he played there. At Chelsea, he played there and all that stuff. Obviously, for Jeremy left back, that's a bit different, but hey. But in general, Merino, how he plays at striker, he has figured it out. And there's no questions that he's also gonna be for us a striker against Real Madrid. Sounds weird, but we move on, right? But the biggest thing is, Merino at striker, he actually looks better than Kai Havertz at striker. Because, for example, the goal Merino scored yesterday, yes, it was lucky, but you have to make your own luck. I have no trust that Kai Havertz makes that chance. No chance, no trust whatsoever. Just saying it as it is. This Merino at striker, as weird as it sounds, as weird as it looks, as dumb and laughable as it looks, it makes Kai Havertz look even worse. I'm just going to say it that way. None of them are strikers. Merino has never played as a striker, and he's making Havertz look like, well, nothing, in a way. Yeah, for me, Merino also gets an 8. Big up, Nathan. Our thoughts align in that regard. Yeah, Alaba yesterday, 2 own goals. Holy crap. Yeah, I want a proper striker, but I don't see it happening. That is the biggest issue. Kai Havertz is not back till next season. It's confirmed for the longest time. Gabriel, as Big Gabby, he has a hamstring. He's gonna be out for at least month, 2 months. So basically till the end of the season, pretty much, as well. At least, by the way. Could be grade 1, if he's lucky, but even that's a month or so. A month, 3-4 weeks. So, either way, he's gonna miss both Madrid games, whether you like it or not. And in Premier League, there's pretty much nothing to fight for, unless Liverpool lose these 2 games. Next 2 games, today's game and tomorrow and the weekend's game. Substitutions, Bukayo Saka gets an 8. Bukayo Saka gets an 8 for me, decent performance, comes back just from injury, scores the winning goal. Was nice, even though I didn't want to see him play too much, because I kind of have to make amends with the fact that he is playing. I was one of those that said that Bukayo Saka shouldn't play at all till the next season, but I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm a man. I'm not a moron like many other people. It looks like he's been rushed a bit back, because he still was limping on the pitch. He didn't look fine, but obviously it's also match fitness and everything. But it is what it is. He scored, which is fantastic. So that's good. Kivior, I said I'm gonna give him an 8. Let's just say that. And Trossard gets a 6 for me. There's nothing too much to discuss. Jimmy Grover is a player from under 16s, I think it was, under 16 team, one of the youngsters. Forfeit the match right now without big. That's the biggest thing. If you look at our defense, Ben White, it we don't know, but it looks like he might not be playing. Timber, massive question mark. Calafiori, out. Gabriel, out. So that means we have no right back at the moment unless we play Party there. We have no left center back unless we play Kivior there. So, Arteta is never going to do that. I don't know. I don't know if he can. Maybe he can play in Premier League. In Champions League, I don't know if he's registered or not. So that is that. Anyhow, Premier League games. Ipswich winning 1-0 against Bournemouth. That is kind of nuts. Broadhead scored. Interesting. City winning 2-0 against Leicester. Grealish and Marmoush scored. Obviously, Haaland is out for a long time. Newcastle 1-0 up against Brentford. Of course, Isak has scored. Southampton beating Crystal Palace. First goal. Yeah. One of the first goals Crystal Palace have conceded in a long time away, and they haven't lost 8 away games in a row, so their job is on the lines, their record. Onuachu has scored. Interesting. And Liverpool-Everton still 0-0 just before the stroke of half-time. Tarkovsky on a yellow. Everton scored, but it was offside, interestingly enough. Beto has a yellow card as well. Looking at the stats. Yeah, it is what it is. Cannot base game on the stats. Feyenoord 3-1. Paixão has scored. Yeah, Paixão scored the second goal and the third goal. Random question. Would you take Paixão from Feyenoord as the left winger at Arsenal? A random question for you lot. Anything else big going on? Stuttgart 1-0 against Leipzig. By the way, third league team, Bundesliga 2 side, Bielefeld yesterday beat Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 in Deutscher Pokal, and first time in their history got to the finals of Deutscher Pokal. It's basically equivalent of Reading from League 1 beating someone like, well, Aston Villa and getting into the finals of FA Cup. That's pretty much the same thing, more or less, ironically enough. And in Spain, obviously, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, second leg of Copa del Rey. And yeah, it was 4-4 in the first leg. And now let's see what happens there. Anyhow, Mikel Arteta press conference. Let's see what this man had to say after the 2-1 win. Madrid game last night. Yeah, Madrid game last night was insane. Out of nowhere. Do you think we will be able to score 4 goals at Bernabeu? No, 4 goals at 4 goals at Bernabeu like Sociedad did. Do you think we will be able to do that? Do you think? Yeah, Lunin was shocking, even though Lunin is a somewhat decent goalkeeper. Camavinga couldn't cope with Kubo at all. Yeah, Kubo is a very weird guy. I don't want him at Arsenal. I know. For example, Pepper wants him at Arsenal. I don't see him working at Arsenal at all. But the biggest thing about Real Madrid is, though, it doesn't matter how awful they look in La Liga. Real Madrid, under lights, in Champions League, is a whole different beast, no matter how you look at it, somehow. It's the heritage, mentality, Don Carlos eyebrow maybe, but they are a completely different animal. Although they have lots of stuff to worry about, obviously, at the moment. The La Liga title, final in Copa del Rey, the ban potential one, I don't know what's happening there. And Carlo Ancelotti today started his trial about not paying taxes for the first span he was a Real Madrid coach in 2019 season. He basically submitted falsified, not fully written, not fully filled out tax forms, apparently. Who knows? Haven't looked too much into it. Don't care what happens at Real Madrid at the moment, given that Arsenal's injury crisis at defense. Yeah. All about 2 own goals. I don't think that's going to happen against Arsenal whatsoever. Yeah, Milan derby today as well in Italian Cup. Yeah. AC Milan versus Inter Milan. will be interesting to see. Maybe 3 we don't have the Sociedad attack, we only have Saka now. That also cannot overhype Martinelli. Let's just hope he can retain this till Real Madrid game. We'll see how he looks against Everton, against Ashley Old, because we all know how Ashley Young clamped him up when we were playing at Emirates. We all know that, so cannot look too much into it. O'Brien, is Ashley Young injured? No, he's not. Ashley Young is on the bench, so you pretty much can guarantee he is going to play. He is going to play against us. Yeah, Bellingham, it's interesting. Anyways, anyhow. Mikel Arteta was whisked off to the press room to tackle questions. The whisked off. Is he a cat or something or what? What are we doing here? Dude, it's gonna be basically Odegaard derby against Real Madrid. On Saka's return, it's a beautiful moment to see how much our people love, respect, and admire Bukayo. I think he lifted the stadium, the energy, and it's great to have him back. Blah blah blah. On Saka's emotions at full time, he was very positive. I think the first game is always the one. How am I going to feel? Because now I have different opposition in front of me. Basically nothing special. On the early impressions of Gabriel's injury, that's what matters right now. They are two players in the team that never want to come off. Gabi felt something in his hamstring. He felt something. He couldn't even walk properly. What do you mean he felt something? We don't know how big that is, and with Jurriën as well. He was already struggling very early in the game. By the way, we have to mention that Timber also was ill during international break, so he was under the weather already. He managed to continue, and at some point he couldn't, so that's the downside to it. Jurriën was his knee. Oh bloody, I think it also was the same knee he had the ACL on, so genuinely pray on the importance of potentially missing Timber and Gabriel. The good thing is that it's been like this the whole season. You see Martinelli today, you say we are missing 3 months. You see Bukayo 4 months. Jesus almost the whole season. How we have managed to be where we are with all those injuries? Dude, don't make yourself like the next Messiah. It's your fault we don't have a proper bench. Ben White hasn't practiced at all this season. It's what it is. We want it so much that we are going to give it a real go, no pun intended. And we are really excited for next week. Well, keep shoveling. On the defense injury problems, you can imagine we've lost 4 players in the defense line in 1 week. Well, Calafiori, White, Simba, Gabi. We have still another 4. They're so willing that they'll do their job. So what, we gonna play all left backs? Or what? Left back as a left back as a center back, left back as a right back? Or what we gonna do here? On the reaction Saka gave to Sam Wilson, blah blah blah. On the importance of the relationship between players and staff. Moving on Mikel Merino's impressive scoring return. It's good that he has that capacity to score goals, to sense the danger, and to move in the right moments into the right spaces. On the number of injuries we've faced this season. Here we go. Especially because there have been some big players in very, very critical positions and affecting the whole line. But we have a lot of good news as well. Look at Mikel, look at Ethan, look at the other players doing their stuff. So that's it. Man, he's making himself sound like he's the next Messiah, man. You're not. Calm down. Ethan played because basically your back was against the wall. Merino, again, back against the wall. Have to put him at striker and everything. And it's your fault. After 800 million, we don't have a proper bench and proper backup. So, calm the F down. In the learning experience managing injuries, you are scratching your head. I'm having the next few games the same. At the same time, it's been great learning experience for us all and the coaches and the staff to manage that situation. Well, cool. On Jakub Kivior, oh bloody hell. The good thing with Jakub is that he's been very reliable. Every time we need him, he's always there, he's available, and he does his job. Well, he doesn't play a lot, only trains, so it's hard to get injured when you don't play. We ask him to play as a left center back, as the right center back, as a left full back. He's ready, he's got a smile on his face. It's sad for Gabi, but he really wanted to play as well. He will be fine. Whether Kivior could be up for the challenge against Real Madrid. If you ask the dressing room how much they want to play the next two games and the Real Madrid game, believe me, everybody wants to be on the pitch. Well, keep shoveling, my friend. Anyways, anything new in these games? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Derby County about to score. Stuttgart still 0-0. Copa del Rey still 0-0. Anyways, let's look at some transfer rumors. Well, we have about 10-15 minutes of the stream left. Let's look at some transfer rumors. They have quite a lot. First things first, a bit of a nostalgia for you all. A bit of a nostalgia. Remember when Arsenal had all these three goalkeepers at the club at the same time? Szczesny, Cech and Emi Martinez. Holy crap. Anyways, we're gonna save that for tomorrow's stream. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Liverpool and United, Newcastle and Spurs, so 6 teams, are all interested in Ryan Cherky according to TBR Football. Yeah, go figure. Here we go. All of a sudden, there are reservations about Benjamin Sesko's readiness to make an immediate impact in the Premier League, although he is in the name that Arsenal are strongly considering. Shocking display of things. We never heard this. Reservations, readiness, immediate impact until Andrea Berta came in. We never heard these things. Kunde and Yamal cooking, I see. Exactly. Until Berta came in, we never saw this. Reservations, readiness, and everything. We never saw that, by the way. However, Arsenal are seriously interested in Sane, although he is willing to take a pay cut to stay at Bayern Munich, so we'll see. Anyways, this is who cares. That was a bit injury crisis. We talked about that. I really hope this is not true, though. Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea and United are all in the race to sign Vlahovic, with the 25-year-old set to leave Juventus this summer. I don't want Vlahovic. First things first, I don't want Vlahovic at Arsenal whatsoever. Just putting that. I'm fine with Sane and Ranieri being Saka backup. To be honest, Sane can play left as well, so it's very interesting how that will go. But it doesn't stop there. This is for Nathan. Nathan. Not Nathan. I'm crap. Marlon. Marlon. This is for you. According to rumors, according to Santi, JFM and Futomercato and all this crap, right? A meeting has taken place in the last days between Nico Williams' representatives and Andrea Berta, the new sporting director of Arsenal. Oh, lulululu. See, I don't want Williams as well. But it looks like Mikel Arteta wants him. It looks like Berta is even talking to him. I'm not gonna lie. Andrea Berta comes from La Liga. He has bigger inkling and better stats and scouting on him than most likely any one of us. Let's just put it that way. Besides maybe at the Bilbao themselves, right? So it is what it is. But personally, based on what I've seen during games, kinda don't want him at all. Just gonna say it as it is. But maybe, just maybe, that could be the case. But apparently, there has been a meeting. Not sure that's the best solution, but it is what it is. Arsenal are still interested in Juan Garcia. We'll see how that goes. Apparently, he already had his bags packed on the deadline day. But Arsenal, after verbal agreement, but Arsenal didn't do it. Arsenal couldn't get the deal done, so it might happen for next summer, allegedly. Here is an interesting one. Evan Ndika. We were linked with him when we signed Kivior, if I'm not mistaken. We've been linked with him before, a few times even, actually. But Arsenal, Newcastle and Forest are among the clubs interested in Roma defender Evan Ndika, who is rated at over £32.5 million. So around 40, I would assume. Now, as a backup for Saliba, I wouldn't be against that. I'm not gonna lie. As a backup for Saliba, definitely not against that in general. Especially given the situation that Tomiyasu is out till the end of the year. Most likely is gonna get moved on in January or summer. Saliba hasn't had a replacement since Rob Holding days. So that is 2 years ago. And that has gone well. So it's very, 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 very interesting. He is French, but he changed his nationality to Ivory Coast. And he's a center back. He's left-footed. Yeah, that's the big thing. Like, I would take Ndika as a backup for Saliba. Unless this is kind of a bit of an indication, potentially, right? That Kivior might get moved on. Because knowing Mikel Arteta and his obsession with the foot on each side, it's in attack and in defense, he won't want to have Ndika as a Saliba replacement. So that means he might actually be the back. He might be signed if he leaves. See, he's a Spanish, but citizenship he has changed to Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. He's a center back, tall, 25 only. So would be interesting. Left-footed, as Nathan is saying. 30 games, 1 goal. Main thing, injury history. He's not injury prone. He is not injury prone at all. Let's be real. He gets injured once or twice a season and misses genuinely one handful of games at worst. The thing is, he plays for Roma and his contract expires in June 2028, which means once this season concludes, he will be out. He will have 3 years left on. He will be out for. His contract will be 3 years left. So I think that basically makes that 30 million. That is the big question. Yeah, 30 million feels too much, but they signed him for 20 something, didn't they? They signed him for what? 20. How much was it? 28 million euros, 24 million pounds. No, he was a free transfer, never mind. His value. He actually is a very decent defender. He's one of the Roma's main defenders, see? He starts every single game. One of the guys who solidifies the defense. Has won Europa League, by the way. An Africa Cup winner as well, interestingly enough. Torres goal. I would swap in. I don't want swap. I want him gone. I don't want Lamptey. Much rather would sign Livramento, Hall. There's some more. Kerkez, but looks like Kerkez is moving to Liverpool. That's pretty much confirmed. Yamal assist. Oh, 1-0 Barcelona. Here we go. But yeah, Evan Ndika. Interesting, very interesting. He's a beast in defense. He's very physical. That is the big thing. He's very, very physical. And we all know that Mikel Arteta loves physical beasts. In other news, Arsenal's loan, Reece Nelson, has come back to Arsenal, to Sober Reality Training Center, following his hamstring injury to recover. So he is definitely... We'll see what's going to happen. This is another one. Oi, my bad. Talks between Arsenal and Sporting for Gyökeres has already begun. I don't trust this whatsoever. I will believe this if he holds up the shirt in June. Don't even want July, in June preferably, right? In the first 10-15 days when the window is open before the Club World Cup and the window shuts closed. But Gyökeres, it looks like as soon as Osimhen scored 2 goals today, by the way, against Fenerbahce and Jose Mourinho. That is the big thing. Yeah, Livramento is definitely a baller, 100%. Now, I don't rate Lamptey. He was very highly rated about 3 years ago. After that, after injuries and everything, it's not for me. It is not for me. Osman clears this guy. But yeah, Barcelona under Flick are genuinely balling like no tomorrow. Cannot deny that. Anyways, and here is the big thing. There is the case, and this sounds very interesting, by the way. Arsenal striker search is being driven by different aspects of the club. While Mikel Arteta wants Isak, Berta is a fan of Gyökeres, and Edu's pre-existing department are working on Benjamin Šeško. This club cannot even get this straight. They're working in 3 different directions. What the hell are they doing? Jaylee, what the hell are they doing? One wants Isak, other one wants Gyökeres, other ones are working on Šeško. Like, what? Like, seriously. You would think that club that would actually work in a similar direction. I get that you need multiple options, but holy crap. We need to wait for this unity and everything. We need that. But yeah, I think time only will tell, obviously. But yeah, it's not looking too great in that regard. Let's just put it that way. It's not looking too great in that regard. Big up Kwame, big up. Hope you're doing great. Barkova would be about 100 million. Doué would be about 100 million. I don't think we're going to do any of those. 100%, they would be genuinely insane amounts of money. Yeah, Osimhen would be quite fantastic. How did the game, by the way, today between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce finish? Galatasaray won 2-1. Osimhen scored 2 goals in the first half. That's how the game finished. That's how the game finished in the end. 2-1 win. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting in that regard. Ipswich 2-0 up, but Bournemouth has a penalty. Delap has scored. Villa have scored against Brighton. Rashford has scored. Oof. Rashford has scored. Newcastle still 1-0. City 1-0. Southampton still 1-0. And halftime at Everton. And all that stuff. But yeah. It's very interesting. But the biggest issue still is. The biggest issue is. We won yesterday. But at what cost at the end of the day? Saka came back, he scored, that's fantastic. Martinelli looked phenomenal, absolutely love it. The more he can do that, the better, long term. And for Arsenal, himself and everything. However, our defense is in injury crisis, arguably. We don't know with Ben White, we don't know with Simba. Gabriel looks like he's going to be out for an extended period of time. Time only will tell. But yeah, our defense is now, it's looking very, very dangerous. Time obviously will tell, so we will see how that goes and how that develops. Prediction for Everton versus Liverpool. It depends. I think it could end in a draw, 0-0. But if Liverpool score, I think Everton might actually fall to some extent. Oh yeah. That's for a different stream. That is for a different stream. I think on this note, I'm gonna end today's stream. I'm still feeling quite sick and still not feeling great at all. Surprised I haven't coughed pretty much at all this stream. But yeah, for today, I think I'm gonna sign out. If you can't already, smash the like, hit the bell and everything. Let me know down in comments below what you think about Arsenal's injury crisis to some extent at the moment. Take care. Like the stream, of course, subscribe. See you all tomorrow. See what tomorrow brings. But for today, enjoy your evening. Enjoy football. Have a nice time. And see you all, as I said, tomorrow.